the 2025 Chevy Tahoe and Chevy Suburban. Both of these SUVs just got a refresh, and let's talk about what's new. As you can see with the exterior, we have some subtle changes, but it's nothing crazy. You can certainly leave your thoughts below in the comment section regarding how these SUVs look. And the diesel powertrain gets a 10% increase in power. The interior is completely refreshed and totally different, and we also have some driving improvements as well, so we can go through this one by one. Okay, regarding the looks, we do have here new daytime running lights. The rear end is also changed with new taillights, and for the fans that like the separate glass liftgate, we still have that with the 2025 Tahoes and Suburbans, so you can just lift up that glass portion if you wish. And if you really want, Chevrolet is now offering an optional 24-inch wheel that's going to be available on the RST and the High Country trim levels. It's a little excessive, but if you want it, they're offering it. Those are some serious dubs coming from the factory. But moving on, Chevrolet is claiming that we have better body control, improved steering feel, a smoother and more comfortable ride quality with the 2025 Chevy Suburban. You're still going to be able to option in the adaptive air suspension and the magnetic ride on certain trims if you really want that. But even the regular suspension has been retuned to once again offer more comfort and stability. And this is a great thing because right now the 2021 to 2024 Tahoes and Suburbans, it is really impressive how these massive SUVs drive. Honestly, the price that they demand for these products, totally justified. These SUVs really do provide a special feel out on the road. You really don't even feel like you're whipping a Suburban. It feels so much smaller to drive, and I'm always fascinated with how some of these manufacturers are able to pull off that trait, especially in something as large as a Suburban, to make it feel as small as it does. That's great. And with these subtle handling improvements, it's just going to be even better. Now, regarding engines, we still have both of the V8s, the 5.3 liter and the 6.2. Both of them still produce the same amount of horsepower. The 5.3 liter makes 355 horsepower, 383 pounds-feet of torque. This engine is perfectly fine. It feels great in both the Suburban and the Tahoe. I have tried the 6.2 liter V8 with 420 horsepower and 460 pounds-feet of torque, and it's great, but honestly, you really don't need it. But the third engine, the optional turbo diesel, it's a 3-liter 6-cylinder. It now has 305 horsepower and 495 pounds-feet of torque. That's 10% more horsepower than before, but all of these engines, it's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it's a brilliant transmission. Shifts perfectly and seamlessly. Towing is still going to be great. It's going to range between 8,200 to 8,400 pounds, depending on if you get the four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive and what trim level you actually end up with. And this is good, but I think the Nissan Armada is able to tow 8,500 pounds, and it's a significantly more affordable SUV in this class. Not as nice, but if you want capability, the Armada exists, and I think the Expedition tows the most at 9,300 pounds. Just so you know. But Chevrolet is still going to offer their trailer assist and all that if you really need it or want it. In fact, there's even a new Google-based onboard navigation system that's going to calculate the route based on the input trailer size. Moving on, the interior space is the biggest change. They've updated the tech with the digital gauge cluster and the infotainment screen. A lot of car companies are doing this. They're basically combining the screens together. So you have a 17.7-inch touchscreen as your infotainment, and once again, it's running the Google-based operating system. However, what I really appreciate here is, despite them implementing all these screens and this tech, they still give us buttons and switches and dials for your HVAC controls, your volume knobs, etc. So it's still ergonomic, it's still user-friendly, and personally, I think they did a really good job. This is an elegant cabin space. They've gotten rid of some of that utilitarian aspects of these Chevrolets. You no longer have to move up to the Escalade. Now these two vehicles, these Chevys, are offering a very upscale feel. Of course, they always show off the more fully loaded models, but let me know in the comment section, do you like the new 17.7-inch touchscreen, and do you like the new 11-inch digital gauge cluster? From the comments that I've been getting, a lot more consumers in the new car market, they love the full digital gauge clusters, and that's exactly what Chevrolet is offering here. Now, other changes with the top trim levels, like the high countries, you're going to get the real leather and the real wood. You can still spec these SUVs to get the captain's chairs in the second row, or you can get the full bench if you want, so you can sit up to 8 people. And really, that's the point. You can load up this SUV with full-size adults in all 3 rows and still be able to carry all of their things in the trunk and still tow a large trailer or a boat with you. It's your do-everything SUV at the cost of fuel economy. That's the only real con with these SUVs, but the person buying this clearly does not care. I will, however, say the 5.3 liter V8 can take regular fuel. The 6.2 liter needs premium. At least that is what Chevrolet states on their official spec sheets. The safety tech is updated. You have a new connected camera feature that gives you a 360 view of the exterior from your mobile app, and I think you have to get the OnStar subscription program, and once you do that, your cameras can act like a dash cam, and that'll store the footage in a cloud server. And also new for 2025 is going to be the AutoSense power liftgate. So if you just stand behind the vehicle and you have the key in your pocket, the vehicle will automatically lift up the rear trunk for you. And GM Super Cruise function, it's the semi-autonomous hands-free driving system. It's now going to be available on more trim levels like the LT and the RST, and of course the Premier and the High Country. However, the Z71 does not get the Super Cruise because of its off-road bumpers, and I guess it's got tow hooks where there's supposed to be sensors, but whatever. The Z71 will not come with the Super Cruise. We do not have pricing yet, but these SUVs should go on sale towards the end of 2024, but they just want to release and show us what they've done with this new refreshed Tahoe and Suburban to let you know it's still class leading and they're still making improvements with one of their most successful products, right? And that's the thing, because of how successful and desirable these products are, you're never going to get a good deal on it just paying MSRP and perhaps taking advantage of one of Chevrolet's finance deals at the time will be your best bet, because they don't have to over incentivize these. People with money, they just naturally come out, pay cash for it, or they finance it and they keep it until the warranty's out, and then they trade it in, they take advantage of the excellent resale value, give it back to the dealership, and then they just start the process all over again. They get the next new Tahoe or the new Suburban, keep it for 3 to 4 years. Once the warranty's up, they dump it back to the dealership and they just continue that cycle. So sadly, there are no good lease deals on this, mainly because they don't have to provide a good lease deal. People just naturally want these SUVs. But I have seen current 2023 and 2024 Tahoes and Suburbans being offered at slight discounts, like $2 or $3 grand off depending on the trim level in certain states. So it's something to look into. Just hop on Car Gurus and see what's out there. You might be lucky in your certain area. You might be able to get a subtle discount on the current non-refreshed Tahoe and Suburban. But that's everything that's new with this refreshed 2025 Tahoe and Suburban. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.